Getty Brexit news. European judges have been asked to rule on citizens' rights post-Brexit. Any decision taken by the ECJ could potentially become as a major stumbling block to the ongoing talks between Brussels and the UK, because the rights of both British and EU citizens after Brexit have yet to be agreed by negotiators. The EU has insisted residency rights of all European citizens living in Britain, even those arriving during the proposed 21-month Brexit transition, be protected. However, Theresa May has signalled her intent to challenge this demand. But as the EU's highest court, decisions taken by the ECJ are binding on all member states. News of the ECJ's involvement comes after a group of British nationals living in the Netherlands took a case to the Amsterdam District Court to argue they could not legally be stripped of their EU citizenship after Brexit. Their lawyer argued that because EU citizenship is set out as additional to national citizenship in the Lisbon Treaty, it could continue despite a country leaving the bloc. Christiane Alberdingk, the lawyer representing the plaintiffs, said in a statement. Theresa May famously said, "Brexit means Brexit, but the Brits currently living on the continent have no idea what that means for them. Are you an EU citizen for life, or can your citizenship be taken away from you?" Getty decisions made by the European Court of Justice are binding on EU member states. That is the fundamental question that will be put forward to the European Court, and in a decision released today, the Dutch court said it is reasonable to doubt the correctness of the interpretation of Article 20 of the Treaty of the Functioning of the European Union that the loss of the status of citizen of an EU member state also leads to loss of EU citizenship. On these grounds, preliminary questions will be put to the ECJ. A spokesperson for the European Court of Justice said it was aware of the case, but that the court would not necessarily formally be notified of the decision until the following day. Stephen Heighton, one of the 5 UK nationals who brought the case, said he was obviously delighted with the court's decision. He added that the ruling was the first step to clarity about what Brexit means for our EU citizenship. He said, "This case has always been about seeking clarification, not only for the 46,000 Brits living in the Netherlands, but also for the 1.2 million Brits living in other EU countries, as has been demonstrated in recent days. What Brexit means is still the subject of much discussion. You cannot play with the lives of 1.2 million people as if they're pieces on a chessboard." The ECJ is the European Union's highest court and settles disputes between the governments of member states and EU institutions. Its highest chamber, the Court of Justice, is made up of one judge from each EU country. Under the Brexit transition terms proposed by the bloc, the UK will be represented in the court until it formally leaves on March 29, 2019. After this point, a British judge will not sit at the ECJ, but the UK will still be bound by any decisions it passes up until the end of the transition.